welcome to another video. This video I'll talk about one of the very common problems that a lot of CAT aspirants face once they start writing the mocks. A common issue is कि तीसरे सेक्शन तक जाते जाते तीसरा सेक्शन जो यूजुअली क्वांट का होता है आपकी कंसंट्रेशन लेवल्स कम होते चले जाते हैं. So it happens with a lot of people, so we'll try and understand why does it happen, and B, of course, what can you do in terms of solving it, in terms of overcoming this issue for yourself. Alright, so first of all, ऐसा होता क्यों है? In my experience, having interacted with thousands of students every year, it happens for two reasons. One is that quant mentally is an issue for a lot of us. So English is something that whether you know or you don't know, you don't know that you don't know. So you don't really face that many issues. Quant में अगर नहीं आता है तो आपको सीधा सीधा पता चलता है कि नहीं आता है. So that creates an additional layer of stress on someone who's not comfortable with the subject. English you can be confident without even being good at it at times. At least at that point in time you feel that you've been able to do something about it. You don't really know how bad it was at the end of the section. Quant is something you immediately feel, हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है, मुश्किल है, क्या दिक्कतें आ रही है. Secondly, in a test, when you've attempted the first two sections, you have exhausted a part of yourself. So you're coming into the third section with the baggage of the previous two sections and how you think you did on those as well. So if either of the first two sections did not go your way, or you struggled a little bit in, let's say, DILR, that baggage is something that you carry with yourself in the next section. So what happens is, at times, even when the timer for the quant section has begun, a part of your mind is still stuck on some set in DILR where you almost got it, or you think, oh, this is what I should have done, oh, this is the silly mistake I made, or something like that. That recent happenings are playing on your mind because you're not really in the moment. You're still carrying that baggage from the previous 1 hour 20 minutes or whatever that period of the first two sections has been in that mock, right? So that's normally an issue to contend with. So the second part now, how can you overcome it? होता है बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ. तो पहली चीज तो ये है कि कुछ तो नेचुरल है इसमें, इसीलिए ऐसा हो रहा है. तो आप इसको ओवरकम करने के लिए क्या कर सकते हो? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, at the beginning of the third section, you have to mentally take off a few seconds and tell yourself, okay, fresh game, last 40 minutes, this is all that counts, this is all that matters. Whatever has happened, good, bad, ugly, neither can I change it, now go back to the previous two sections and do anything about it, and nor does it matter. Let me believe that I've done well there, and if I can close out this section really well, I stand a great chance. So you need to be in that moment. You need to forget what happened. It's like in sports, whether you won the last 2 points or lost them, whether you made a mistake, on the previous ball or not, the trick is to focus on what lies ahead, what's coming up next, rather than think about what has happened, because that can unnecessarily bog you down or create some clutter in your mind. You play a ball on the merit of the ball. So you look at the next question on the merit of the next question. So that mental adjustment of just blocking out whatever has happened in the previous two sections and focusing on this section, telling yourself that's what you need to do, taking a deep breath, focusing is what you need to do in terms of mental adjustment. The second part is the physical adjustment. Because you've been sitting probably in not so comfortable chair or environment, a lot of pressure around you, all that takes a physical toll as well. You are probably sharper, when you begin the test, or somewhere close to the middle of the test when you warmed up, than towards the end of your test. So the way to ensure 2 hours of peak concentration levels is that during practice, you build 3 hours minimum of peak concentration levels. That's what we try and do through classes, the regular sessions at MBA Guru. But otherwise also, I'd say, if you've taken a mock for 2 hours or whatever that duration is, earlier it used to be 3 hours for CAT, for example. In both cases, I always suggested add 50% of that time at least and sit for that duration. In addition, whenever you're sitting down to do something at your own place, in your own home, in your hostel room, wherever it is, instead of that X number of hours which the CAT is expected to be, do 1.5x in one go. If you build yourself that way, if you are able to push yourself that way, if you are habituated, if you're very, very comfortable in sitting for 1.5x number of hours and giving it your best shot, then X hours on that day should be far easier. You also need to take into account that there's a lot of time even before the actual exam starts. If your CAT slot is in the morning, you will probably start very early from your place. You'll get up, get ready, start very early, reach before time. At the center, you'll wait in a queue to get into that center. Inside, there'll be some time taken for biometrics and all, for settling down, everything. So there's a lot of activity in terms of, a high pressure build up even before the actual timer begins. So the more you are used to maintaining your concentration for longer durations of time, the easier you'll find to adapt to the requirement of that day in the actual pressure situation. So that's something, habits are something that we become very comfortable with. So if you develop that habit right away, with some months to go for the actual CAT, you will be much better placed than a lot of other people who will probably be struggling on that day, because it's an extended time period for which they need to be mentally on, switched on, and physically also pretty much fit and raring to go till the very end, till the very last minute of the exam, rather than getting tired towards the end of it and probably losing out on a few questions in quant just because they were not really up for it, even though preparation wise or ability wise they could have solved it. So that's a situation of regret that you should be able to avoid if you do the right things right now. The second thing, as I always say, in your mocks, there is a large quantity of questions. When you write a mock, for example, you typically attempt, let's say, around half the questions during the regular time. Now, instead of looking at the solutions and just seeing how many you've got right, got wrong, it's important for you to take the remaining questions that you did not attempt during the actual test and treat it as a 3-hour or a 1.5x duration test. क्योंकि चांसेस ये हैं कि आपने ये सवाल वो छोड़े होंगे जो आपके लिए थोड़े से मुश्किल थे, तो अगर आपके लिए आसान सवालों में आपको लेट्स से x टाइम लगा है या 2 घंटे लगे हैं, तो उतने ही सवाल जो आपके लिए शायद मुश्किल रहे, आपकी जजमेंट में, आपकी समझ में, उस दौरान आप थोड़ा ज्यादा वक्त लेंगे। तो वो चीज आप 3 घंटे लेके अगर आप करेंगे, प्रॉपर्ली नेक्स्ट डे भी करेंगे आफ्टर यू हैव टेकन अ मॉक, rather than just look at the solutions, so it will give you many benefits. एक, आप हाई क्वालिटी क्वेश्चंस और प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, क्योंकि मॉक्स में यूजुअली बहुत अच्छी क्वालिटी के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं। हम जहां से भी मॉक सीरीज कर रहे हैं, regardless of that, so you will get more exposure to those quality questions. That's one advantage. Second is your question selection can improve tremendously, because if you have left a few questions that you later on realize I should have done it, I didn't do it because this happened, or because I managed time poorly, or because I probably misunderstood the question, or whatever that reason might have been, then that will help you improve your judgment in the subsequent tests, which is something that can make a huge impact on your scores. So that learning as well as that exposure to good quality questions is something that will hold you in very good stead when it comes to the D-Day. So hope you found some useful information in this video. If so, please do like the video and please do share it with your friends who might again be facing a similar challenge in terms of being able to concentrate in the final section of the 3-section CAT format. और ये चीज नॉन कैट एग्जाम्स पे भी उतनी ही लागू होती है, जहाँ पे भी जो भी ड्यूरेशन के लिए आपको कंसंट्रेशन बिल्ड करनी है, आप अगर उससे 1.5-2 गुना पीरियड के लिए अभ्यस्त हो जाएंगे, आदत डाल लेंगे, तो आपके लिए बहुत आसानी रहेगी. That's it for now. See you soon again in another video. Bye bye. Take care.